Another day, another dollar, and another update to Steel Division 2. Hello again, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome back to Steel Division 2. We're taking a look at the recent update to the beta. Many of you have seen the update, but let's take a look at what it has to offer. So again, Steel Division coming out in May. This is the second update to the beta, where we're going to take a look at a few new things, including some new maps. There are new maps available in the added beta, which my favorite is probably to sell, which has rivers running down either side of the map, which is really cool. And then also, I think that's the pronunciation of it probably perfectly. There's a huge highway that runs through, and there are villages everywhere. You can see it. It's going to be crazy. And what is this? What is this 26? Oh, well, we'll take a look at that in just a second. We're going to review a deck today. We're going to take a look at battle groups, actually new divisions that are available. And I'm not going to build a deck today per se, but we're going to take a look at both the 26th Guard Strelokrivi and also the 78th Strum in the next video. So if you haven't already, make sure you click or tap that like button to show your support. And 99% of the people ignore that, so welcome everybody. Good to see you all here. And thanks everybody for showing your support, because I'm excited, people are excited. You need to buy Steel Division 2. A lot of people showing it some love, and that's awesome to see. I love seeing that. So with this new division, we get a lot of new stuff, including some snipers. Yeah, some lady snipers. And man, are they effective. During the playthrough I did yesterday of the beta, these two ladies took down a P.A.Q 88mm. all by themselves. So snipers, recon really is what they are, but they are very effective in eliminating AT guns. So they can remain hidden, and they can immediately take out a crew in a few seconds and immediately start opening fire. They can pin them down and finish them all off. So this taking out Flak 88s, P.A.Q 43s, maybe even some of those bunkers that we've been seeing where they're loaded with AT. They're very effective. Dozer is nothing new. Motorized Rathatska is nothing new. We have a, I think this is a is this cannon artillery? This is Kanonia. I don't know if that. I don't think that has it. It's a recon squad. Yet another recon squad, even bigger than the. Yeah, wow, it's a huge recon squad. So there you go. And then of course back to our old motorcycle. We're gonna take a look at what's new here today. So just keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and keep peeking around at some new stuff, including the NKVD, a 4-man, 10-point. Just an assault squad, essentially. Very cheap assault squad. Doesn't seem like they're a leader group or push any infantry forward, so just themselves, they're just a 10-point 4-man assault squad. Interesting. Samurai, I don't think that's new at all from our previous looks. We're just only, again, taking a look at new units in this division, just so we can get a feel for what's coming up. Camarade, that's, of course, the leader group. Let's see what else might be new here. Oh, this actually is new here. Oh, wow. Look at these guys actually have body armor on. You can see it wrapped around them. These are supposed to be steel plates in the front. Oh, wait. Look at that. That guy's actually wounded. Interesting. And some of these guys, I thought they were wounded in the stomach, but it looks like maybe that's just something to tape it down, or some sort of fabric to keep the front and back plates closed. But these guys are armed with TNT and Dagorov machine guns, so that's Donatello. I think it's a Ninja Turtle that they're armed with, so that's pretty cool. Very nice. And then also we see some Shaturm Uviki LPO. Whoa, they're armed with a flamethrower. Engineers with the flamethrower. And then this, a penal battalion, boys. That's right. If you want to eat, you got to advance. Look at this guy. This guy's rifle is so long, he's actually holding it over the other dude's shoulder. That is crazy. And they're actually wounded. This, I think, is a mix of criminals and maybe wounded and or people who are just lesser able to fight. But it is a 40-point squad, but it is a 20-man squad, so it's going to be very difficult to defeat these guys in terms of defense. And they're armed with a PTRD and also 3 Degatar machine guns. Wow, that is cool. That is going to be a very expensive and a very powerful unit. No wonder. Very nice. So NKVD, some of those new stuff there. There's also some leader groups that are new, but we're just talking about a same remix of some other things that we've seen before. Oh, also, one thing to show, I don't know if this was new or not, but I did notice it for the first time. Any group actually can run around in the M3A1, so it's got a 50 cal on top. I think we saw that before, but it did not have a 50 cal, maybe. That's what I'm told, but that's another new unit that I'd never seen before until I played the beta yesterday, so that might be a new thing. Tanks for this squad. Hey, check this out. IS-1 is finally here. That's right, IS-1 in the leader group, so you'll be able to pop that thing into your division and advance with it. Unfortunately, you only get one, and it's only available in Stage A. That's it. That's all you get. Only one. Every player only gets one IS-1, which could be very powerful. You also get the KV-1S if you're advancing with the command unit. This is a faster, slightly faster KV-1. And the T-34E. And again, remember, these are all available at different stages, and you get different veterancy and such. That's how this game works, is in Phase A, B, and C. And the longer you wait, of course, the more units you get. So it's kind of based off of skill. The better that you can play, the better that you'll do. So let's see. Very nice. You can see the added armored plates to the KV-1, rather the T-34E. And let's take a look at the KV-1E. And I think there's an added armor plate to the front of that. That's why you can see like a little, yeah, you can see where they cut out to add more armor around the components there. Especially in the front of the tank. Very nice. And then our KV-85, which is essentially just a KV-1 with a with the T-34-85 turret, almost. It's not the same, but it's basically the same. No machine gun in the back, though. Interesting. They didn't put a rear-firing machine gun on it for some reason. But whatever. Let's move on to support. Let's take a look at what's new there. We have a 2-man LPO flamethrower team. Even though they don't have the tanks, they are available and ready to go. We have a new 50mm mortar to play with. Very nice. And we also have the OT-34. Again, all this other stuff is old, so we're going to skip through that. But this thing, the OT-34, when I was playing, that thing is incredibly powerful. The tank has the ability to still fire the AP and HE shells through its main gun, but it fires its flames through this, the hull machine gun port, which is now turned into a flamethrower, and that thing is super powerful. If you get close to a village, if you get close to a infantry squad, if you get close to any sort of emplacement, it is gone. That thing will delete stuff, but it's got to get incredibly close. But it is pretty fast if you're keeping it on main roads, that type of thing. And our buddy ISU-152 returns to this division as well. So a lot of the stuff that we had seen from the previous video, and again, if you want to see all of these other units, make sure you check out the other video on the, I think it's the 6th Tank Guards, whatever it may be. Make sure you, oh no, I'm sorry, it's the 2nd Tank Guards. Make sure you watch that video in its entirety so you can see a little bit more about the Maxim and the SG-43, that type of thing. So you can see what else is here, including the combat unit, which returns as well in 3 different forms, as it had previously. PTR S-41s are available, yet again. Nice. Good to see those rifles. And then also a squad called the Faustniki, which it is a 4-man squad with PPSHs, a Degatarov, and also a Panzerfaust, which for 30 points, that's kind of expensive for just the ability to have a Panzerfaust. I'd rather have the Shrek, to be honest. Alright, we have ourselves the 45mm, and then the 76.2mm, ZIS-3 and the 53K, and the SU-85 returning. Let's go over to anti-air. New unit here, the ZSU M15. The American-made M15 with the ability to fire 2 heavy machine guns, and then, of course, a 37mm autocannon. That's going to be really powerful. I've actually played with that. It did seem to hit the target quite a bit. You don't seem to get enough of them, though, so this is definitely something you're probably going to want to wait on and call in later. If you can actually, like, if you can call in 4 of those later, they might not hit anything, but of course, you might not need to with that much intense fire. But it is worth 90 points. Pretty spendy. I still prefer the Bofors, though. And then, of course, the AAA from previous returns as well. Some of the standard things that I think each division will see. Artillery is something called the VZ Vod Uper. I don't even know what that is. The VZ Vod Uper. I have no idea what that is. Leader squad, apparently. But I've never heard of that before. That obviously is some sort of an abbreviation. 82mm, 120mm. The F-22. That's all artillery now. Su-76. And then, of course, our essentially the American-made Schimmwagen returns as well. This, is, of course, is an off-map artillery unit. So you can get that close to the enemy, radio in, and they're gone. That's all you got to do. It's firing a 100 and... What is the millimeter on this? 122mm. So it's not bad. It's good. 100 points. That's good. I don't know how many times you can use it, though. That'd be nice if they told you 3 uses or 4 uses. I don't know if it actually tells you. Someone will have to comment down below. I'm sure our pros down there will need to look at that. Look at this. The Andarusha. Not Katusha now, but Andy. It's the old Andy. The BM-3112, which fires 300mm HE shells. This is devastating to a clumped-up unit bunch. It can absolutely just completely make them fall back and possibly destroy some units. If you have a clump of German tanks, this is a great way to clear them out, destroy them, and move them back. or very good against some tight bunker complexes with like maybe like a trench nearby in an occupied building. That might be causing trouble. And this fires at times 12. It will need to be resupplied every time you shoot, so keep that in mind. And check out these big boys. That is thick. 203mm HE shells times 18. I've not had the chance to use this yet, but man, this thing looks awesome. Road speed of 14, speed of 7. Look at that. We got ourselves the BM4 and the M6, which is a 280mm. Essentially the same vehicle with just a different gun. And these are actually self-propelled, so they can move around themselves, though they do have a hitch for possibly being towed by something. But they are self-propelled, they can move around on the map, and they are powerful, baby. Let's take a look at the aircraft. Very, very good choices for aircraft for this division. The 26 getting a lot of good stuff here. So yeah, we have ourselves a recon plane, which is pretty standard. We also have ourselves a very nice Yak-9 with just some 20mm on it. Very nice. Looks really nicely detailed. I like the camo on that one. Oh, even a little heartbreak or a Cupid's heart over there on that side. IL-237 equipped with 37mm anti-tank cannons, armor piercing, times 100. That thing can really lay waste to enemy units. IL-2 is really one of my favorite planes for ground attack, both in its design, and it really looks like a beautiful plane. Huge wings, capable of carrying a lot of munition, and we'll be seeing that a little bit more here too. Interesting, the P-Tab. This is a cluster munition, tank buster, and I've seen it, I used it, and it was used against me, and it is incredibly powerful against tanks and really has the ability to cause a lot of damage to a wide area. So even though it might be a cluster bomb and might not do a lot of damage to infantry, if you drop it on a bunch of pack guns or something like that, it will panic the hell out of them, and it is very good, very accurate bomb for sure. It says 96 there because I guess underneath somewhere, I guess there's no bombs, but it'll drop one bomb that explodes into 96 other smaller bombs. That's how a cluster bomb works, kids. Alright, let's move on to our next thing, which is the where were we here? The 37 Yak-9. The Yak-9B other variant is equipped with the F.A.Q 100 × 4. So it's some light, basically some lighter bombs. 20mm mounted on that too. Lots of good stuff here. Lots of good stuff indeed. IL-2 with 37mm cannons and also 4 50-kilogram bombs. Interesting. So yet another one. You probably want this for the added autocannon, but at this point, 155 points is that's steep. That is steep. Let's see. Did we check out this before? Oh, this was where we were before. There should be something with rockets. Here it is. The PE-283 armed with 10 rockets. That is 132mm frag rockets. And I'm thinking at 132mm attacking from the top. If it gets a direct hit on something, it might cause internal spalling and destroy it. In other words, if it hits a tank, shrapnel or something could break off from the sides of the tank and injure or kill the crew. But probably something a little bit better for like a large convoy or something of light troops. Really good for cracking through infantry. And of course this aircraft having a rear-firing machine gun too. Very powerful indeed. Very good stuff. Let's take a look at their defenses now. For those of you who weren't getting enough defenses, check this out. This group now has 6 slots available for defense. With more manpower means the more greater ability to put down things such as barbed wire. So we now have barbed wire available. And we have the maximum machine gun. Of course, these are all old. And gun pit, those 3 are old, as well as the trenches, which are old. But now we have the ability to put down PTRD-41 anti-tank guns and also 45mm anti-tank guns in bunkers. And they are hard as hell to defeat. And I must say the Germans also get some AT as well, and that makes them very, very, very powerful. Very powerful indeed. Now, these are also worth 10 and 30 points, so keep in mind that these do cost some deployment points, so there's a little balancing to that, and they are very powerful. So I think you're going to want to spend those 30 points. If you're doing breakthrough mode, that's the only time that these are available. So that's a first look then at the stuff that was new for this deck. I may have missed something or didn't go over something in depth, but remember, we'll come back and make ourselves a deck very soon too. Actually, I rely on some of my friends to make decks because to do this, you have to do a lot of spreadsheeting, which means to make a deck, play it out, see what worked, see what didn't, test it again. And a lot of those guys are just like absolute scientists when it comes to that stuff. It's really cool. We can also take a more detailed look at stuff in the Armory, which is really nice. So if, for example, we wanted to see something more on the NKVD, we can look at them here without having to go into the specific deck. But again, that's the 26. So let's take a look then. So total divisions we can play with at this moment, and they'll be adding more next week. From Thursday to Sunday is when we can do that. So you can see now 2 Soviet decks of the 2nd Guards and the 26th Guards, and then the 5th Panzer and the 78th Sturm. So we'll take a look at that next time. Let's take a look at what else might be new. There is a new multiplayer mode, actually. Take this into account. So there is a Eugen is now hosting their own multiplayer servers where apparently it's like a comp stomp. I think what it really is if you want to play with people against the AI. They're trying to get a lot more games going faster because people might be intimidated by pro players or, you know, like stacked teams, that type of thing. A lot of players in a war game or in any Eugen game are hovering over the back button. They don't want to play unless the conditions are right. And this bypasses all that crap by essentially just saying, here, get in here, let's play, test out your deck, let's go. And it's really nice because with the beta being limited, there might not be a lot of players on, so you have somebody to fight against or people to fight with. All you need is a team of 5 or maybe a few less. You start the game, you fight the AI, and you see how things work. Alright, that is it for today's look at the Steel Division 2 update for the Soviets. I'll come back with the Germans and essentially cover the same thing, and then I'll get right into the beta as well. Maybe make a deck. I don't have any recommendations yet because everything's all subject to change. All their point values and all the AP and all the ammo and equipment they might get is all going to change before release, so don't get too comfortable. I'm certainly not going to. I'll see you all next time. Thanks for clicking and tapping that like button to show your support. You guys always do, and so that is a real nice thing. So thanks, everybody. Enjoy your day, and I'll see you next time for the Germans at the look at the 78th Sturm. Bye.